Learn English through stories with shadowing and conversation. Mary Lennox was a very unhappy and angry little girl. She lived in India with her parents, but they were always busy and never played with her. When Mary was 10 years old, her parents sadly died of a terrible illness. Mary had to travel all the way to England to live with her uncle, Mr. Craven. Mr. Craven lived in a huge, dark and gloomy house called Misselthwaite Manor. He was a very sad man because his beautiful wife had died 10 years ago. Mary felt lonely in the big house. She didn't know how to dress herself or play because her servants in India did everything for her. But a kind young British servant named Martha started to help her. Martha told Mary to go outside and explore the gardens. Martha also told her a secret.
There is a secret garden. When Mrs. Craven died, Mr. Craven locked the door and buried the key. No one has been inside for 10 years.
Mary was very curious. She walked around the large walls looking for a door. One day she met an old gardener named Ben Weatherstaff and a friendly little bird with a red chest called a robin. The clever little robin hopped on the ground and showed Mary something shining in the dirt. It was an old rusty key. The next day, the wind blew hard and pushed away some thick green ivy on the wall. Behind the leaves, Mary saw an old wooden door. Her heart beat fast. She put the rusty key into the lock and turned it. The heavy door slowly opened. Mary stepped inside and closed the door behind her. She was finally inside the secret garden. The secret garden looked dead and brown. There were dry branches and tall weeds everywhere. But when Mary looked closer, she saw tiny green plants pushing through the earth. She started pulling out the weeds to give the little plants room to breathe. Working in the fresh air made Mary feel happy and strong for the first time in her life. A few days later, Mary met Martha's brother, Dickon. Dickon was a kind outdoor boy who loved nature and could even talk to animals. Mary trusted Dickon and showed him the secret garden. They kept it a secret and worked together every day to bring the garden back to life. One rainy night in the big dark manor, Mary heard a strange sound. Someone was crying. She took a candle and walked through the long, dark corridors. She opened a door and saw a pale, thin boy crying in a big bed. It was Colin, her cousin, and Mr. Craven's son. Colin was a very spoiled and angry boy. He never left his bed because everyone told him he was sick and would soon die. Mary was not afraid of him. She told him to stop crying and began telling him beautiful stories about the secret garden. Colin was so interested that he wanted to see it.
There were scones.
When spring arrived, Dickon and Mary put Colin in a wheelchair and pushed him outside. They took him quietly into the secret garden. The garden was now completely alive. There were pink roses, green leaves, and beautiful flowers everywhere. Colin took a deep breath of the fresh, sweet air.
The magic is making me strong. I am not going to die.
With the help of Mary and Dickon, Colin slowly stood up from his wheelchair. Every day they worked in the garden, and Colin grew stronger and healthier. A few months later, Mr. Craven returned home from a long trip. He went to the garden wall and heard children laughing. Suddenly, the door flew open and a healthy, running boy bumped right into him. It was Colin! Mr. Craven was shocked and cried tears of joy. The secret garden had healed them all. Now let's do some shadowing together. Listen carefully and repeat each sentence naturally with me. She found an old rusty key near the garden wall. She found an old rusty key near the garden wall. Mary opened the secret door and entered the garden. Mary opened the secret door and entered the garden. Mary and Dickon worked together every day. Mary and Dickon worked together every day. Colin felt stronger after spending time in the garden. Colin felt stronger after spending time in the garden. The secret garden brought happiness to everyone. The secret garden brought happiness to everyone. Now, let's listen to Olivia and Harry talk about the story and some of the key words from it.
Hello everyone and welcome back. And wow, a massive, massive thank you to Margaret for that absolutely gorgeous narration.
Yes, thank you so much, Margaret. You always manage to bring these stories completely to life. And guys, what a classic we have today. The Secret Garden.
Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it? I mean, who doesn't love a bit of mystery combined with a really heartwarming ending? It's just a fantastic tale of transformation.
Exactly. We start with these two incredibly miserable, angry kids, Mary and Colin, who are just, well, let's be honest, they're not very likeable at first.
Not at all. They're absolute nightmares. But that's the beauty of it. The fresh air, getting their hands dirty in the soil, and building a genuine friendship. It literally heals them. Makes me think I should probably spend a bit more time in the garden instead of playing video games on the sofa.
You definitely should, Harry. Your houseplants are barely surviving as it is.
Hey, I watered them. Last month. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Let's talk a bit about the genius behind this story. The Secret Garden was written by Frances Hodgson Burnett.
Yes, and it was published as a book way back in 1911. Can you believe it's over a century old?
It's mad, isn't it? And yet, it remains one of the most famous and beloved pieces of children's literature in the entire world. It's been adapted into films, TV series, theatre plays, you name it.
I think the reason it's so globally famous is its universal theme, the idea that nature and human connection can heal sadness and trauma. It doesn't matter what era you live in, it's something everyone can relate to.
Spot on, Liv. Now, I think it's time for our favourite part of the show, the language breakdown. For all of you learning English out there, This text is an absolute goldmine.
It really is. Let's start with some of the specific vocabulary our listeners asked about. The first one is a great noun, corridors.
Ah, yes. In the story, Margaret read, "She walked through the long, dark corridors." A corridor is essentially a long passage in a building from which doors lead into different rooms.
Exactly. You might also hear the word hallway, especially in American English. But corridor is very common here in the UK. Think of a school or a hotel. You walk down a corridor to find your room.
Right, and the word itself gives a bit of a spooky, echoey feel in this story, doesn't it? Long, dark corridors. Very dramatic.
Definitely. Right, our next word is an adjective, spoiled. The text says, Colin was a very spoiled and angry boy.
Ooh, a spoilt child. We all know one, don't we? If a child is spoilt, it means they're allowed to do or have absolutely anything they want. And because they never hear the word no, they behave quite badly.
Exactly. Because Colin's father was grieving and absent, the servants just gave Colin whatever he wanted to keep him quiet. They basically ruined his character. Oh, and a quick tip for our listeners. In British English, you can also write and say spoilt with a T at the end. Both are perfectly fine.
Fun fact, guys, we also use spoilt for food. If you leave a bottle of milk out of the fridge for 3 days, it becomes spoilt. It goes bad. Just like a child's behaviour goes bad if you never set rules.
Great comparison, Harry. Okay, let's look at a phrasal verb now. Bumped into. Near the end of the story, a healthy Colin bumped right into his father.
This is a brilliant one. Literally, to bump into someone or something means to physically hit them by accident. Like, if you're texting on your phone while walking down the street and you hit a lamppost.
Guilty as charged. But here's the really useful part for our learners. In everyday, spoken English, we use bump into metaphorically all the time to mean meeting someone by chance.
Yes! For example, I bumped into my old school teacher at the supermarket yesterday. I didn't physically tackle the poor man, I just saw him unexpectedly.
Exactly. Such a natural phrase to use. Now, did you catch any other interesting language points in the text, Harry?
I did, actually. I want to talk about a specific preposition. Early in the story, it says Mary's parents died of a terrible illness.
Oh, good catch. Students often make the mistake of saying died from or died by, but when someone passes away because of a disease or illness, the most natural collocation in English is died of. He died of a heart attack. She died of cancer.
Exactly. And before we wrap up, Liv, there's one more pronunciation goldmine in this text. It's the difference between a noun and a verb that confuses almost every learner.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Breath and breathe.
Spot on! In the story, Margaret said Mary gave the plants room to breathe, and later, Colin took a deep breath.
Right, so breath is the noun. Breath. It has a short E sound, like in the word bed, and ends with a soft, quiet TH sound. You take a deep breath.
But the verb is breathe. It has an E at the end. We pronounce it breathe. It has a long E sound, like tree, and a vibrating, buzzing th sound, like in the words the or brother. I breathe the fresh air.
Such a crucial difference. Well, I think that wraps up our vocabulary session for today, doesn't it?
It does indeed. We hope you enjoyed diving into the secret garden with us. Make sure you practice those words: corridors, spoilt, bumped into, and the difference between breath and breathe.
And try using bumped into the next time you see a friend unexpectedly. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. See you in the next episode.
Cheers, guys. Bye.